how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into Coaching Company, the last day outside of the friendly confines. A big thank you to my parents, my sister and her family. But when I'm outside of my beautiful studio, sometimes I get that itch. And we'll be back there on Sunday, and our regular schedule will be back on Monday with Coaching Company, Coach and Bro, and obviously our Sirius XM radio show Off the Ropes as well. Now, you've got good days and you've got bad days. Yesterday was just exciting. And I don't live and breathe from what we do, but that's one of the ugliest screens you could ever have. My games, it was at 2:31 with a minute to go. I had already written it down as a dub. 0 points. Whatever happened to fouling in the NBA? Whatever happened to that? And then Utah decided for the first 7 minutes they just wouldn't show up. 0 points in the first 7 minutes of the game, and we missed that total by about 9, I believe it was. But that was yesterday. College football playoff, as you saw, a little bit of some stunning outcomes. Oregon proved they are much better at defense than we thought. Indiana proved they are still the number one team. Ole Miss proved they are still the number one story in all of college football. And Lane Kiffin, he just might be the biggest heel in the history of college football. Now, as we move forward, we're going to be doing a ton of stuff here at the brand. Some big announcements coming up, but also we want you to become a premium member. You can do it right now. Scan that QR code. We do a lot of premium pop-ups, live betting on usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're still trying to figure out what Mondays are going to look like now that Monday Night Football and the Monday Night Grind is over for another season. All right. So it is a Friday, which means we get ready for the weekend, which means we've got our Reds best. We also have a little bit of soccer, and I got to enunciate. But ladies and gentlemen, even on a Friday, even on January 2nd, I've got company that always shows up at the front door. Oh, there they are. Without further ado, it's time. Let's beat the books. All right, look at this motley crew on a Friday. I'm going to start with the man all the way at the end because last night all of the sports world was focused on Louisiana, was focused on the dirty Big Chuck. What was last night like for you, sir?
Morning, Coachman Company. What an exciting game. I was happy to see the Ole Miss finally pull it out. I thought they were going to blow it there at the end, and I was kind of taking over-unders how many times we would hear Mr. Lane Kiffin's name. I think we hit the over on that one. So very exciting game. It's always a great time when the Sugar Bowl comes around. So happy to see it. Ready to get this weekend going.
Yeah, if the governor or Lane Kiffin tweets one more time, my head's gonna pop off my shoulder. Let's stop it already. All right, now he's the youngest member of our crew. He is live from the West Coast where it's still dark. Welcome to my world, young Peyton King Lettuce. Happy New Year.
Morning, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. I haven't gotten the chance to say that to y'all yet. I went to San Diego for New Year's. Pretty fun. Got back kind of late. And last night, yeah, even when it was dark, was watching Trinidad Chambliss, baby. I'm Team Trinidad. That guy's awesome. I'm just excited he advanced. I get to watch more of him.
He's so awesome. If anybody missed his story, I actually retweeted it this morning on my page at the Coach Rules. You can see where he came from a year ago, where he is now. It's an unbelievable story. It's an unbelievable story for this guy. Finally, he is a big part of what we're doing moving forward into 2026. In front of the camera and also behind the camera, Mikey P, what's good?
Good morning, Coach. Listen, I just want to thank the college football referees. Your boy here not only bet Ole Miss live, but the over at 71.5. I'll take that safety in the final 2 seconds to cash the over. So great ending to my night.
That was insane. And when the announcers go, oh, the game is over. Well, they call it a safety, but it doesn't matter. I hate when announcers say that. It matters to somebody, and it mattered to you, 39-34. Wow. I'm so glad you had that live total. I really, really am. All right, gentlemen, we got to get into it. So Chuck is obviously going to go last. We got Footy Friday coming up. But you saw our card from yesterday. Abysmal. But we don't run from it. We don't hide from it. But the only question is, who's going to step up? Who wants all this? Nobody? Nobody? Nothing? I didn't see you raise your hand, Mikey. Now you're – oh, my goodness.
I bowed down and then
maybe I need to go first. All right. Mikey P., with a little less, I guess, fervor from me, best bets. What do you got?
I am going with Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs over 25.5 points and rebounds. They're playing the Indiana Pacers with no Wemby tonight. I think this is a great spot for Stephon Castle. He'll probably get more run than normal because they are playing the Pacers and no Wemby. And then give me the Orlando Magic taking on the Chicago Bulls. I bet on the Pelicans against the Bulls earlier in the week. The Bulls smacked the Pelicans around. So I think the Magic will show what a good team is like. Give me the Magic -4.5 against Chicago today.
I like that start. I think the Magic are starting to play a little bit better basketball. I really do. You know what? I'm going to stay on that Wemby train because it's a stretch, but everybody can say it with me. Me and Mikey P today have a little bit of synergy. Yeet. Chuck, what was that? Oh, that was the greatest yeet we've. Oh my God, that was the greatest. All right. Pardon me. All right, our synergy is this. The Pacers just gave up 142 to the Miami Heat. What do you think is going to happen when Wemby doesn't play tonight? You got all these young cats like Mr. Castle. They've got 4 or 5 dudes that you've never heard of that absolutely out-quick you, out-athletic you, outplay you in San Antonio. So you put that with a Pacers team that has 6 wins this year. Defense, absolutely an option when it comes to the Pacers. So I like that over at 238.5 -108. Then the Hornets, they have proven to be a very fast starting team. They don't necessarily play great fourth quarters. I actually thought about playing the over in the first quarter and the under in the fourth, but you're almost betting blind if you do that. And I certainly don't want to do that. So give me the first quarter over 56 with the Bucks. Having Knipple out certainly hurts, because he's a guy that comes out and is just firing from the jump. He sprained his ankle, so he's certainly not at 100%, but I still like this first quarter over 56. I would play it maybe just to 57, not any higher than that. All right, young Peyton, my guy, you're going to the college ranks today. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm sticking with hoops, though. I'm taking Michigan State +2.5 at -120 in Nebraska tonight. They're one of the best teams in the country, the Spartans are, and they can make a deep run in the tournament with Jackson Kohler, Cohen Carr, Jeremy Fears. Right now, they're ranked 9th in the country, only have 1 loss to Duke. I think they win this game on the road because now's a better time than ever to take road dogs because students aren't even on campus yet. There's no such thing as home court advantage. I'm also staying on the hardwood, but going to the professionals. But do we even call the New Orleans Pelicans professionals? Portland plays really fast. They're really young. I like Denny Avdia. Really sad the Wizards let him go. I like them tonight. I like the Portland tonight on the road in New Orleans at -118.
The Pelicans are 8-27, almost as bad as my Pacers. Now, let me ask you a question about the Michigan State game, because Nebraska has kind of been that trendy pick, that sexy pick. Fred Hoiberg has his team playing at a really, really high level. They're favored by 2.5 over Michigan State. Does that not scare you?
Not at all. I mean, it would scare me seriously, Coach, in the spring semester when the student section's absolutely packed and you have a home field or home court advantage. I don't think there's going to be that many people there in this game, and I think it's going to be almost looking like a tournament game in almost a neutral site. I'd take Michigan State.
Right now, I'm sitting 3 hours away from the University of Nebraska. I may cancel my flight tomorrow just to show up, just to prove you wrong that good Midwestern Nebraska people can show up. But I don't care that much, so I'm not going to do that. And I will fly home tomorrow, back to the friendly confines. And hopefully during that time, we cash some soccer tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Oh, yes, it's time for Footy Friday. All right, it's a 5-pack of soccer plays every single Friday, and I like that the international stuff is over. We can get into the new league. Big Chuck, where are we starting today?
Friday, France League 1. Toulouse lawns. And I like the home side in this one. I like them to win, so that might be a little stay on your toes. But I also like them to strike early. Toulouse, first half team total over half a goal. They've scored 4 first half goals in their previous 3 games. Saturday, EPL, Bournemouth, Cherries welcome Arsenal, the Gunners, to town. And this is just two teams. When they get together, they produce goals. The over 2.75, it's cashed in 6 of their last 7 meetings. La Liga, Elche, Cha-Cha-Cha, and Villarreal. Most will not give the dog a chance in this one. I think they score early. Elche, first half team total over half a goal. They've actually scored a first half goal in 3 straight. Then the Catalan derby, Espanyol, Barcelona, the both teams are scoring over 2.5. Espanyol come in averaging 1.14 goals at home, while Barcelona is scoring 2.6 on the road. Lastly, Italy, Serie Atalanta, Roma. These two have both scored in 4 of their past 5 meetings. I think they hit this both teams to score one more time for us.
Boy, I feel like you've really picked some really good teams there. Arsenal the other day, absolutely phenomenal. They were scoreless at the half, and I think they scored 4 goals in the next, 20 minutes?
4-piece.
It was a 4-piece. Add the potatoes. Give me an extra biscuit. So their offense is really starting to click. Are they the best team right now in the EPL in your mind?
You have to say so, especially after that display for Man City yesterday. So, yeah, definitely the Gunners for me.
How did Man City not score yesterday? Like literally 0.
2.5 XG. When they had that first goal disallowed in the first 10 minutes, it always happens. They don't score again. If they score in that first 10 minutes, I think the floodgates open.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. So I like that we have a Friday game. We have Saturday and Sunday. So you'll just be watching those green check marks just add up over the course of the weekend. Gentlemen, real quick, because I know we talked about college football, and we're going to get into what the semifinals look like. Does anybody else, because Lane Kiffin, we can talk about him 3 or 4 different ways, and we will. But Mikey P, when he walked out holding hands with Kim Mulkey last night, and I thought, oh, maybe they're friends. Maybe they've known each other. Do you know last night in the hallway was the first time that Lane Kiffin had ever met Kim Mulkey?
I mean, not creepy at all, right? Lane Kiffin, I wish I could just get $90 million, be able to grab anyone's hand. Just kidding, Lady C. I mean, this guy just can get away with everything.
It's amazing. Peyton, this guy, not only is he a heel, and for those people watching on YouTube, at our break, I've got some stunning stats that he has accomplished since leaving Ole Miss. But this guy, I think he likes to troll everybody, because all the rumors were he was going to be at the game, then he wasn't, and then Kim Mulkey said, well, the papers said that he was going to be there. How are the papers wrong? Look at this. And I want to say, hey, Kim Mulkey, there's no such thing as papers anymore, anywhere. Peyton, this was a scene last night. They look like they're old friends.
Yeah, that doesn't look like old loose leaf paper to me, Kim Mulkey. That looks like some digital photography that doesn't lie. And looks like they're hanging. Yeah, it looked like old friends for about the last 40 years. I mean, maybe she was an assistant coach at LSU or something.
I don't know. I don't know. It was the most bizarre thing. Boy, he continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. He's unbelievable. All right, plenty more on Lane Kiffin, plenty more on the college football playoffs. We are down to the Final Four also coming up in 30 minutes. It's Week 18 of the National Football League, and there is a winner-take-all game on Saturday night. Can't get any better than that. And also, the Bucs find themselves in a very, very weird position, and it's all their fault. What do I mean? I will explain coming up in about 30 minutes. And of course, NBA, they start to take center stage as football starts to wind down. How much is Nikola Jokic actually worth? We're going to talk about it in our NBA showcase coming up towards the end of the show. This is Coaching Company. It is 2026. We're ready to kill it right here, live on the Stadium Network. All right, all you degenerates that continue to watch on our YouTube page. We love all of you so very much. So the number is 900,000, boys. 900,000, Mikey P, is the number of dollars that Lane Kiffin has earned since he left Ole Miss. Because he negotiated in that if his old team makes it to the playoffs, he gets a certain amount. wins certain amount, wins semifinals certain amount. It's 900,000, 500, 250, and 150. Either he has the greatest agent of all time, or LSU just said, hey, here's a piece of paper. Tell us what you would like to do. And they said yes to everything.
I think it's both. Is this not the greatest divorce of all time from Lane Kiffin to
It feels like mine, to be honest. It feels like mine.
Like, I'm going to go here. My new thing is going to pay me for all the success of my old thing, and I'm going to take the spotlight. Is everyone cool with that? I mean, I don't understand how Lane Kiffin continues to get away with this. What I'm more impressed with was the ACC giving Miami $14 million, all of it to Miami. Lane Kiffin, get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Peyton, this has turned into a story that might be not just the story of the year. This might be the most fascinating story in the history of college football.
Oh, without question. I feel like Scott Boras might be his agent or something. I mean, this is ridiculous. How's he signing all these bonuses and getting all this money? He's not even doing anything right now. Women's basketball game last night. He's just chilling right now.
Whoa. What did you say? He's not doing anything. He tweeted at least he tweeted 3 times. What do you mean he's not doing anything?
Tweeting? What's he, Roger Lodge? I mean, what are we doing? Just sitting there tweeting all day? Come on.
By the way, speaking of tweets, did you guys see the tweet from Kalen DeBoer? I actually thought his account got hacked. Anybody see it? He said anybody that basically, and I'm paraphrasing, anybody that has a voice for a team that didn't make it to the playoffs, sit down and be quiet. Interesting that you would say that after getting absolutely dog slapped 38-3 in the Rose Bowl. You're going to tell everybody else to be quiet? Really? Kalen DeBoer, stop it. All right, guys, we're talking all things college football right now. We're back live in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm the coach. This is Coaching Company live on Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV coming up in about 20 minutes. Week 18 in the National Football League, and it is pivotal in a lot of matchups. Don't forget, we will be live on Sunday morning breaking down some of the incentives that certain players have to play for. Now, the players that played yesterday, a lot of them will be playing on Sundays coming up very, very soon. But Mikey, I'm going to start with you because now we have the Final Four. Miami, 2.5-point favorites over Ole Miss, and Indiana, 4-point favorites over a team they've already beaten by 10, Oregon. But before we get to that, there is a big issue right now, and I don't know how you fix it, but the teams that have gotten byes the first 2 years of this 12-team playoff are now 1-7. 1-7. The only team to win was Indiana. I think Dan Lanning was onto something, that they need to start playing this playoffs right at the end of the season all the way through. Because when you have a month off and it takes you a quarter to get back into the groove, by then you're behind by a touchdown or even double digits. Now your whole game plan is out the window. I think that's the biggest issue.
I agree, Coach, and I agree with Dan Lanning on his take for the college football playoff. Look, you want to get the absolute best at their absolute best. When we talk about Cinderella teams, we're not talking about Tulane or James Madison. We're talking about the fact that 1 through 4 seeds, except Indiana, are not making it to the semifinals. That's the Cinderella side of the college football playoff. The problem is that the college football playoff did it to themselves. Fantastic games last night. Hats off to everyone who won, Miami, Ole Miss, everybody. But for me, I'd rather see the schedule shortened so that we can get everyone at their best.
I don't even think we need to shorten the schedule as far as games are concerned. But I think we need to, right when it's over, Peyton, we see who the 12 teams are. They play literally the next week. So by January 1st, and then you move the portal to January, and you move all that nonsense with coaching and everything like that. And to me, it's a very easy fix. It's something they need to make, and they need to make it right now because there are still more bowl games that I don't care about. Today, tomorrow, whenever. I don't even know the teams that are playing. I had to actually look because I thought it was over. To me, playoffs should be the end game. The end game. Your thoughts?
100%. I agree with you. And the fact that we talk about this, we say this like this bye week is, or this bye month rather, is a reward. It's a reward for these teams. So when it's a reward, shouldn't it be rewarding, right? I mean, you're not going to have all these guys out here who are completely like, they need a couple series on offense to get going again if they've missed so much time. So now you have all these guys who are rusty and not rested. It's a big difference between being well rested and rusty. And I think the numbers just show that these guys are a little rusty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when you talk about individual performances, you could talk about the Oregon young freshman who had 2 interceptions and a fumble. You can talk about Chambliss, 362 yards last night, 2 scores, 0 interceptions. Some of the throws that he made were absolutely insane. His athleticism is off the charts. His leadership is off the charts. But when you want to talk about leadership, Mendoza with Indiana. But the one thing that kind of is a little weird to me is how he does his post-game interviews. I've never seen a player look into the camera and then cut a promo. Includes Jesus Christ always, includes his family always, includes his teammates always, and then the announcers actually point all of that out. Who do you think, Mikey P, had the best individual performance on Saturday? Or whatever day, Thursday, sorry.
Trinidad, coach. I know we've been talking about where he's going to play his next year of college football. Yeah, no more. I want to see this kid play on Sundays. That throw he made to get Ole Miss into field goal range and win the game, ice cold. I mean, this kid absolutely, he had a banged up running back. He had wide receivers who had not played well for most of the past month, and Trinidad put Ole Miss on his back and carried them, and it was all about him and his team. I absolutely loved his performance last night.
I give a lot of credit to Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, to call that throw on 3rd down. If it lands and is not caught, there's 35 seconds left in the game. They're punting, and Georgia has a great field goal kicker. So that was everything on the line he put in the hands of Chambliss. Peyton, let me come over to you. Same question.
Well, he trusted his guy, Trinidad Chambliss, the star from Ferris State in Division II. I mean, that was insane what he did last night, coming from a Division II school and coming out and doing that. And you know what? I've loved him for a long time this season when he came in the Arkansas game and took over. And when he was playing, I was like, this guy is really athletic. He can move around the pocket. He can scramble. I thought his legs are the best ability he has. Didn't really show that last night. Didn't have a ton of rushing yards, but we all saw how many plays he extended and how much that led to big yard gains for Ole Miss.
I wonder how many yards he ran for behind the line of scrimmage. Just those 2 plays in a row where he did this and then completed a pass. Those were incredible. Now, here's the thing. I actually saw some people agree with me because everybody's like, oh, Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner. It reminds me of the Tim Tebow hype. And what I mean by it is Tim Tebow was never going to be a great NFL quarterback or even average. And the media forced the Denver Broncos into picking him late in the 1st round. Somebody yesterday literally listed all of the weaknesses for Mendoza. He's a great leader. He's a really good college quarterback. His brother's the backup, which I didn't realize until yesterday. But he's not going to be a great NFL quarterback. This is where I believe it ends. Mikey P, am I wrong? Or do you see a starting quarterback in the NFL in his future?
Given some of these starters we've seen in the NFL, coach, I am going to give Fernando Mendoza a shot. You know what doesn't help Fernando, though? When Kirk Herbstreit goes, well, when he takes off, he looks like a baby giraffe. Oh, okay, thanks, Kirk. That's what everyone wants to hear. I mean, outside of that, my favorite part of the entire Indiana game was the meme that went viral of Coach Cignetti and the, I can't do it, Coach, you worked with The Rock, but that glaring face he had when they went for it on 4th down. I think what Fernando Mendoza will bring to the NFL is leadership, belief, and confidence within himself, something a lot of NFL franchises don't have right now at the quarterback position.
But please don't use the word conglomerate ever again in a post-game interview, because I don't even know if you know what that truly means. All right, let's spin it forward now, because we have a full week. The 8th is the one semifinal game. The 9th is the other one. Should Miami, Peyton, be favored over Ole Miss, which feels like they have an avalanche of momentum because everybody but fans in Louisiana are rooting for this team to win it all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think they should be favorites. No, after last night, I think Trinidad Chambliss showed that they should be favorites. But Carson Beck is without question the more experienced option. But there's a reason he's been playing college football for what feels like the last 8 years of my life. But I'm team Trinidad Chambliss 100%. Give me the more athletic quarterback to lead his team to a victory. The 2.5 point dogs, I'm taking that all day.
By the way, I meant to respond to you saying you want to see Chambliss, Mikey, in the NFL. If he gets the extra year of eligibility, which it looks like he's going to, can you imagine what a heel he would be if they win the national championship and he walks out to play one more year at LSU? You can't do it. He has to stay there. His parents, if you've met them, they're like, no, this is about family. It's about team. I would be shocked if Chambliss leaves to go to LSU. But I think it all depends on how he plays against Miami and then ultimately in the championship game. What about you?
Well, for me, I think Miami had their college football playoff final against Ohio State, a team that was on their way down after what we saw from them against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. So for me, Ole Miss doing what they did against Georgia, Kirby Smart and his amazing record in college football. Tim Tebow said Trinidad Chambliss's playoff performance yesterday was one of the best quarterback performances, if not the best we've ever seen in the college football playoff. And I agree. Right now, I'm taking the more talented quarterback. I'm taking the team with all the momentum and the team that really wants it more. And I believe that's Ole Miss.
Yeah, anybody that wants to talk about the defense. The defense. Miami held Texas A&M. Then they held Georgia had held their last 4 opponents to under 10 points. And then Ole Miss went out last night and scored 39. So that is not going to hold water with me. Now, the other semifinal will be January 9th. It's a rematch from a game in the regular season, Peyton, where Indiana went to Oregon, and they beat them by 10, 30-20. But this is going to be a bowl game. This is going to be at a neutral site. Does Indiana still have the advantage that they appeared to have in game number 1?
I think they do, but I was not expecting, going back to the Indiana game yesterday, I was not expecting Ty Simpson to be as bad as he was. So Indiana really took advantage of his poor quarterback play. And then Ty Simpson cracks his rib, and then Indiana just dominated from there. But does this team, do they make any mistakes at all? I mean, we saw it when they tried to go for it on 4th down. They're sitting there like sitting dogs. But when you look at Oregon, we all know how great Dante Moore was this season, and he's the reason why the Ducks are in the college playoff. But the way they looked against Texas Tech at the line of scrimmage was really impressive on both sides of the ball. This is going to be a great game, and I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. It's not easy to beat the same team twice, Coach. That's why I do like Oregon at plus or to cover the spread at least, but I don't know if they win this game. Even for Fernando Mendoza said it in his post game. It's hard to beat the same team twice.
Yeah, he did. To me, I would look at a teaser in this game if we're talking about the number in itself. I would take Ole Miss. You're getting 8.5, and then I would take Oregon because you're getting 10. And it feels like the second game is going to be like a 24-21, 24-20, something like that. I think it's going to come right down to the end because, Peyton, you bring up a lot of great points. So physical, both teams at the line of scrimmage. Texas Tech, they're going to have to reevaluate that NIL situation because, Mikey, when you brag about how much money you spend on players and then you go out there and they do that, I have a feeling today there's some very emotional meetings going on between the money people and those that control the players. 30-second take.
This is not 1990s football. Texas Tech had a great defense, but their offense did absolutely nothing. I'm excited to see what Oregon can do against Indiana. I don't think it'll be much, but hats off to the Oregon defense. They showed up and showed out against Texas Tech.
They most certainly did. Now, over the course of the next week, we'll be tackling both of these games from every single angle. And I love the fact that it's next Thursday and next Friday, so they're weekday shows for us. We'll be all over both of those games. Now, still to come, we're only halfway home here on Coaching Company on a Friday. Feeling good. Love the vibes. The NFL, there's a lot of teams that still have a lot to play for. We break them down. 2 Saturday games that originally were winner take all. That's not the case anymore. I will explain on the other side. It's Coach and Company. We're live on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium is. Come on back. It's very interesting when you look at the four coaches that are left in the college football playoff. All four are disciples, guys, of Nick Saban. Big Chuck, let me bring you back in here because Saban made his name not only at LSU but also at Alabama with a stint for the Miami Dolphins in between. Does it shock you that the four elite coaches that are still alive in some way, shape, or form basically came through his program?
Not at all. And that's just the four we're talking about. There's so many more that are out there scattered around the atmosphere. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Kind of like the Mike Leach tree. It's not quite as successful, but not surprised at all. So yeah, he definitely did well with his proteges.
Mikey, I love when a coach gets his due. And Signetti is 64 years of age. He has 40 years of coaching to get this big job. Nick Saban was not the hit that Nick Saban was early in his career. What is it about these older coaches that are starting to catch fire?
I don't have the answer to that, Coach, but I think Kurt Signetti embodies everything that Nick Saban was when he was coaching Alabama. If you needed any further proof that Nick Saban should be running college football as a commissioner, look at the college football playoff finals that we have here. Kurt Signetti is my favorite coach in all of football, and I think I might go as far as to say even in the NFL.
Make the change today. There's sometimes, Peyton, where you have decisions that if you make one or two, it completely changes everything. That needs to happen with Nick Saban and all these coaches. They would buy in.
Yeah, and Signetti just sitting there, when they make a big stop or a huge play that's a really impressive defensive stop, he's just sitting there. Yeah, we expected it. We expected that. Exactly how Nick Saban was. These guys weren't getting fired up unless they're yelling at the refs, of course. But I love Nick Saban. Hey, maybe we see all these coaches in an Aflac commercial soon. Who knows?
I think he'd be amazing. By the way, speaking of Aflac, did you guys see who was grocery shopping the other day for a New Year's Eve party? Mikey, you don't know who Koresh Tran is, but everybody else does. Deion Sanders and Koresh Tran were at the grocery store shopping. Tip of the cap, Deion. We're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company here live on the Stadium Network. We have just passed the bottom of the hour. It's 10:32 if you're watching us live. In the East, it is 7:32 out in the West as you're just getting out of bed. Hopefully, it's the end of a week where you didn't have to work. But Monday, you get back after it, as do we. But we'll also be live on Sunday morning to get set for the final Sunday in the National Football League. But that's also why we're here right now, because on Saturday, we got two games that could not be any bigger for all four teams. So when we look at both conferences, in the NFC, the Seahawks have a 54% chance of getting that number one seed. They play the 49ers, who have a 46% chance of getting the number one seed. On the AFC side, the Broncos, yes, the Denver Broncos, an 82% chance of getting the number one seed. The Pats, 15%, and the Jags, just 3%. So let's bring all of my guys back in. We got to start with tomorrow's game number one. And Mikey, this is not a winner take all. The Panthers can still get in if the Falcons beat the Saints, because that would mean the Bucs, the Panthers, and the Falcons are all 8-9. The Panthers would then have a tiebreaker that they are 3-1 in. So when you look at this game, and obviously we always factor in the spread, how do you handicap it from that perspective?
Coach, I really like Carolina no matter what in this game. I think it is going to come down to coaching, and Todd Bowles has not proven to be a guy I can trust in game clinching situations, playoff clinching situations. I'm going to ride with Dave Canales and a young, hungry Carolina Panthers team that can run the ball. They can get physical. Bryce Young, very bad performance last week. I think he bounces back against a vulnerable Buccaneers defense.
Charles, we're still trying to figure out how Todd Bowles has gotten not one, but two opportunities to be a head coach in the National Football League, and it started to show itself the last several weeks. The Bucs have been stumbling to the finish line, and now they don't even control their own destiny.
That being said, I actually like the Bucks in this spot. Their stock couldn't be any lower. Plus, they're coming off the last time these two played. They lost late, so I think that'll gnaw with them. Even though I think if they win, it's not going to matter. My beloved Saints, no Olave. I think the Falcons still beat them, even though they could possibly cover. But yeah, don't be surprised if Bucks come out here, win. Baker throws it all on the line in a high-scoring game when they don't have anything to lose. They're going for it on fourth downs, could create short fields, turnovers, high-scoring games in the Bucks.
Who would have thought that the Falcons and the Saints and the way they're playing at the end of the season would dictate the outcome of the AFC South? Because Peyton, the Saints have been really, really good. The Falcons just beat the Rams. They beat the Bucks by being down 14 on Monday Night Football. And now as we head into this thing, the Panthers, if they do get into the playoffs, they're the team that I want to play if I'm anybody else. What say you?
Well, when you say Todd Bowles and opportunities, speaking of opportunities, Baker's had too many missed ones. I mean, they've lost 4 straight, 3 against bad teams. They shouldn't even have this opportunity to win the division, but the Panthers haven't won it either. So, I mean, can we just have the Panthers win this game so it makes it a lot easier for everyone? If the Bucks win, no one wants to watch Falcons Saints on Sunday. I'm sorry. So let's just have the Panthers win this game and get the NFC South over with already. But we probably won't even get that because if the NFL has any reason to give us Saints Falcons to watch, they'll do it. So give me the
Peyton. I got to push back. I've got to push back. They've both been incredibly exciting to watch the last 4 weeks, both the Saints and the Falcons. Clearly, you're not watching them out on the West Coast. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's flip it over now. This game is literally winner takes all. And it is the Seahawks and Sam Darnold. He can put all the ghosts of Minnesota past behind him if he can just come out and get the job done. Seattle just went all the way to Carolina, and they beat them. Now they got to go all the way down the West Coast, and they are favored. Mikey, favored. Both teams are on 6-game winning streaks. Should Seattle be the favorite here?
I don't believe so. Brock Purdy, 10 total touchdowns over his last 2 games. Talent for talent, coach, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey over JSN. Coaching for coaching, I'm taking Kyle Shanahan over Mike McDonald. When I look at the San Francisco 49ers team, they're playing so well while having the least amount of sacks in the NFL. I don't think it matters if you can pressure Sam Darnold. He has pressure within himself. I think San Francisco rolls in this game. I like the over in this game. I don't think it's even going to come close for the 49ers and the talent they have on offense.
It does feel like the momentum, Charles, is with San Francisco. And then when you look at storylines, the Super Bowl is going to be played in this stadium in 6 weeks. So the 49ers, if they win, they don't have to stay in a hotel the rest of the season. Your take?
Unfortunately, they're not going to win though, because I love the Seahawks in this spot. If you remember this game when the first matchup back in September, it was super clunky. Darnold had a terrible game, multiple interceptions. I think he cleans this one up. Seahawks are inspired. They have tons of momentum. I agree. I think we see plenty of points in this one. I love the Seahawks in this particular spot. Everyone is thinking it's a 49ers should be a no doubter, but no, it's Seahawks, plenty of points in the over.
I just like the fact that we have it. I like the fact that it's a Saturday night. I like the fact that it's a standalone game. This is exactly what the NFL should be. It's about entertainment. It's also about consequences. And the new flex schedules, all of that, I absolutely love. So if I was to weigh in, which I'm going to do right now, man, I'm going to take the 49ers too, as much as I hate it, because I still have to order my stupid jersey and pay off my bet, which I will do during the month of January. But I think San Francisco on the road, I think they do get it done. The 1.5 is not going to matter. So let's go minus 102 on the money line. All right, let's move it over to Sunday. In this game, it does matter, but not to the San Diego Chargers, because Justin Herbert will be sitting out, because the Chargers have nothing to play for, which is my least favorite statement of all time whenever anybody says it. But the Broncos are playing for the number 1 seed, Mikey, and they're a team that has not been spectacular. They're a team that's been living on the edge of a lightning bolt. But it doesn't matter how we got to 13-3. It just matters that we got to 13-3. So how do you see this game at 12.5 playing out on Sunday?
I think it's gut check for the Denver Broncos. We talk about a team that's come back so often in the 2025 season, led by their defense, and Bo Nix every 3 weeks shows up and looks great. I think Denver really needs to prove to themselves, not the NFL, prove to themselves that they are a top seed in the AFC, which I believe they are if they can put it all together.
Big Chuck, let me come down to you, because that number 12.5, to me, it's not as daunting when you know that on the Broncos side, they have so much to play for that they're going to want to come out and put this thing so far out of reach in the first half. I would probably play the first half. That's probably 7. And I would play the 12.5 because I can see 34-7, 37-7, something like that. What about you?
I couldn't agree more. You could even look at the first quarter. I think this is a blowout from start to end. Then they have revenge on their side. The Chargers beat them earlier in the season. Yeah, just a outright beat down in this one. Love you can even look at the total, 37.5. I think the Broncos should probably get that on their own, but I couldn't agree more. First quarter, first half, full game, team total, multiple ways to go ahead and back the Broncos.
Peyton, how are you attacking this game?
Trey Lance won't even get in the end zone against this Denver defense. I would much rather take Denver's defense than their offense. So such a big 12.5-point spread just because it's so big. I like playing the under rather than the 12.5. It's 37.5 right now. I would take the under because I don't think Denver scores more than 30 points, but I think they blow them out.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're all kind of on the same page when it comes to that game. And then Sunday night football, it literally is winner takes all. Loser, they're going home. It's the Steelers and it's the Ravens. And wouldn't you know it, Mikey, that Aaron Rodgers, all they had to do was beat the Cleveland Browns. That's all they had to do. And they couldn't score more than 6 points. And the Ravens, without their starting quarterback, goes to Green Bay and lays it on the Packers. So how do you not back the Ravens in this game to win it when they are playing away from home, just like they did last week?
I got the script, Coach. I got the whole NFL season script. You didn't know Aaron Rodgers is just going to lay down for Shador, make Deion's baby boy look like a star. Aaron Rodgers, primetime, final game 272. I am backing the Steelers heavy in this one. Even without DK Metcalf, we'll see why Aaron Rodgers has been one of the best over the past 15 years.
Wow. Big Chuck. Agree or disagree with that smoking hot take?
I definitely went back and forth with them. I think the Cleveland game was a look ahead for sure. So they knew they had this one to come back to. I think this one could be a Raffy middle sandwich, though. Steelers cover and then the Ravens win. But what I love most is the under. A defensive battle, field goals, turnovers. But I definitely think the Steelers could cover. I'm still kind of on the fence if they can win it all. But yeah, I would be in the middle spot on that.
This is way too big of a middle spot for a Raphael middle sandwich. This is 3.5 points. We only need like 1.5, maybe 2 for a Raphael middle sandwich. Now, young Peyton, is it a middle sandwich or are you leaning one side? Because everybody knows this is your squad, Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a Lamar Jackson game. So we know he's not 100% ready, but he hasn't been 100% all season, really. Pittsburgh's defense is something we all thought would be pretty darn good this year, but they're average at best. And on the Ravens side, they've been giving up points all season and just gave up 24 points to Malik Willis. So, yikes. The captain of the Ravens defense, Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith, he's questionable right now with a bad hamstring. He might have tweaked it in Green Bay. So if he can't go, that's huge for the Ravens. However, I got the Ravens winning this game in an over game.
Wow, in an over game at 41. Interesting. That'd be a lot of fun if they got to like 24-20, something like that, 24-21. Real quick, there are obviously a lot of incentives, Mikey. We're going to be hitting on the Sunday morning show, but also we could be seeing the end of an era. Kansas City plays in Las Vegas, which is the same place where I criticized Travis Kelce for going 5 times after they won the Super Bowl there and then chasing boo thing around this great world of ours. Is this the last game? You got about 20 seconds that Travis Kelce, future Hall of Famer, plays in the NFL.
He sounds like a guy who's on his way out. He's been playing like a guy who is on his way out. It's a sad way to go out, but it's usually how most NFL players go.
Peyton, does he end his career in Las Vegas?
I think he does. I think this is it. Pretty tough way to end your career in Vegas, though.
Maybe he just stays, Big Chuck. Maybe he just stays and hangs out with Boo Thing for an extra couple of days.
Definitely ending the season here. But imagine the after party though. That's going to be a something to witness. That should be a good one. But yeah, he's definitely done. No Mahomes to start the season next year. Nothing to come back.
Whoa! Stop. He's going to be back week 1. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the great number 15. Now, speaking of 15, number 15 for the Nuggets is out. That's a major league segue right there. But what does it mean spread-wise? NBA Showcase, Coaching Company, live on Stadium. That's next. All right, speaking of the NBA, everybody, Anthony Davis. His name is all over Mikey P, the trade rumors, the trading block. The problem is in the NBA, you just can't trade a player for a trade. It's going to be 50% salary-wise. Does it even matter that his name's out there? Because what team in their right mind would take him right now when he can't even stay on the court for more than 2 or 3 games at a time?
This whole narrative is backwards, Coach. There's been 2 teams rumored and connected to Anthony Davis. The Atlanta Hawks, but they won't give up Trae Young for him, and the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if we could just send Draymond Green off somewhere else. No one is going to benefit either way from landing an Anthony Davis for 6 or 7 games per month. I just don't see the value in AD.
It's so funny. You just said Draymond Green. Not to get off track of this subject. Did anybody see Draymond on the with the boys the other day, Barkley and those guys? Did you see what they said to him? Anyone? Oh my God! They say, "Hey Draymond, we missed you. We'll see you during the playoffs." Which means Peyton, he won't be in the playoffs. It was a savage move. But will the Mavs be in the playoffs with or without Anthony Davis? Does it even matter?
No, they won't be. I mean, maybe Kyrie gives him a spark if he comes back, and if he comes back, they're all talking about February this, but I mean, I don't know if he's coming back. But I don't even care about AD on the trade block. I hope he leaves Dallas because I hate watching Dallas with Anthony Davis out there. They're so boring to watch with him and Cooper Flag. They don't play fast. They play really, really big half-court basketball. Not very fun to watch.
Big Chuck, they are 17.5 games back and in the 13th position of 15 teams, the Mavs are.
They expected this though. They knew without Kyrie they were going to get off to a bad start, and then with no AD, it's even worse. And they're definitely looking forward to next season, but they have to start putting a limit on how many times players can be traded. I mean, what is this 3-4 for AD? So yeah, hey, stop the nonsense.
That needs to be an issue not only in the NBA but certainly in college. Just stop the nonsense. I love that line. All right, still to come. We've got our NBA showcase. We're locking into 2 games tonight, but also we're locking in our best bets, a bounce back from our horrible day on Thursday. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm the coach. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we lock it in. If you missed any of our best bets at the top of the show, don't worry about it. We've got you coming back, including Footy Friday. But this is the part of the show where we focus on 2 of the biggest games on the NBA hardwood tonight. And, Mikey, I'm going to start with you because the Nuggets are 13.5-point dogs. As Nikola Jokic, he avoided a season-ending injury, but it is still a month or more injury. Is he really worth 10 points when it comes to the spread?
Yeah, absolutely. When a guy can put up 80 points, rebounds, and assists combined in a game, Coach, yeah, this man is absolutely worth 10 points in a spread. I love not only the Cavs tonight to cover, but the big men, especially Evan Mobley. Not only is there no Jokic, Jonas Valanciunas also got hurt. He'll be out for 4 weeks. So I love Cleveland's big men tonight if you're looking for player props in this one.
It's going to be a small lineup, Peyton, as they like to say, for Denver. But could that then turn into a track meet?
Well, we all know how valuable Jokic is to Denver. He should be the MVP every year when he plays, right? But I think a lot of people forgot about 2 other guys who were really excited about coming into this year. Denver was Aaron Gordon, who really worked on his jumper and averaged about 20 a game, and Cam Johnson, a guy who they traded Michael Porter for. Porter, who's averaging 26 for Brooklyn right now. But both of those guys are out. So now 3 out of their top 5 scorers are out for Denver. So that kind of takes away from playing the over, Coach.
And that's why we discuss it. That's why I ask those questions. Because, Charles, so many times, and I've been guilty of it, I'll just look at a spread and I'll be like, oh, man, let me jump in all over that one. And then you realize this person's out, this person's out. So I love that we dive into these. But this may just be, because of all those reasons, a stay away.
Definitely possibly a stay away. And is it even, I would have figured that the Nuggets would have been favored in this one. So is it even 10? Can we even say he was worth
Yeah.
more than that to the line? This was kind of curious. The total keeps going up. I'm thinking we're seeing points. I agree with you. The small ball, look at some Murray props potentially. Also, he's the only one that's going to score for Denver. I think they're going to put up some points. For whatever reason, I'm seeing the Cavs potential blowout spot with plenty of points.
Yeah, it kind of certainly feels that way, and I think that's a very good point. Probably more than 10 if we're being honest about it. All right, let's flip it over to game number 2. And the whole narrative, Mikey, of Oklahoma City trying to break the record, I think that's done. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They have 5 losses on the season, but they need to start playing basketball again. And Golden State, they need to do the same thing. A Steph Curry-led team is 8.5-point dogs at home. Is this dynasty of high level, a lot of nationally televised games for Golden State, is it coming to an end?
It absolutely is coming to an end. And, Coach, I'm jumping all over this 8.5 for Oklahoma City because Steph Curry questionable with a left ankle sprain coming into this one. These are the morning reports that you want to jump all over. If it's under 10 points for a team like Oklahoma City that has to find themselves once again, I love the Thunder in this spot with or without Curry for Golden State. They're too big. They're too fast. I believe Oklahoma City easily handles them tonight.
Yeah, what I normally do is I'll type into Google starting lineups, and it'll take you right to NBA.com, and then they'll kind of light up, Peyton, the 5 players that they announced. I believe it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's right around there. But tonight, does that matter for you as well?
I mean, my question is, how is Steph Curry questionable with an ankle sprain when he wears those ankle braces that are literally up to his calves? I mean, how does that even happen? Good thing we're not brought to you by that ankle brace company. When you say they're 8.5-point dogs at home, Coach, I mean, this because against the Thunder team they are. Thunder are just too good right now, and they're way too deep. A lot of players who play the exact same way. They got Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench, who's just like their starting shooting guard as well. So they play all the same basketball and just cycle through 9-10 guys, and it's pretty awesome to watch consistently through 4 quarters.
It's almost like a mountain. Is they spend the whole season getting better and better and better and better. They'll go through a lull in February and March when they realize they can't get to 73 wins, and then at the end of March they'll pick it right back up again. So there might be some value fading them here in a month or two, but not tonight. All right, we got a lot of best bets to get to, including Footy Friday, so it's time to lock it in. Oh, mute. You're on mute.
You guys got me now?
We got you now.
Okay, sorry. Give me the Orlando Magic -4.5 against the Chicago Bulls, who are playing inspired basketball earlier this week, but the Magic are a much better team than the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they'll prove that tonight. And then Stephon Castle over 25.5 points and rebounds. No Wemby on the court for the Spurs against the Pacers. I like Castle to have a big game tonight.
Castle's going to be an all-star this year. He is absolutely amazing. Young Peyton, what do we got?
Going with the Michigan State Spartans on the road on the hardwood as the Road Dogs in Nebraska at +2.5. They're just a better basketball team. And the Pelicans will lose again tonight. They're 8-27. Give me the Trailblazers on the money line and make the Pelicans 8-28.
All right, if you're going to cash with the coach, I had a little bit of a fall off yesterday, but we know how great I am with my NBA capping. Spurs Pacers over 238.5. This one might get to 250. Without Wemby, the Spurs play much, much faster. It's kind of like without Anthony Davis. It's a reverse effect. So over 238.5 in Indiana as well. They play better on the road. Also, when it comes to pace, I believe. And then first quarter, all you degenerates out there that can't wait for a full game, let's go Hornets and the Bucks. First quarter over 56. Some places have it at 56.5. I would play it up to 57, but that would be my limit. All right, we've got a 5-pack on the pitch, and it starts today. Chuck, what do we got?
Well, Friday day soccer in France, League 1. Toulouse, Lons. I like the home side in this one. Don't be surprised if they win, but I also like them to score a first half goal. Toulouse, first half team total over half a goal. They've scored 4 first half goals in their previous 3 games. Moving on to Saturday, EPL, Bournemouth, Arsenal, one of those matchups that produce goals. We'll go with the over 2.75. This is cashed in 6 of the last 7 matches in all competitions. On to Spain, La Liga, Elche, Villarreal, and most will not give the dog a chance. I think they're going to come in and actually score early in this one. I like Elche. First half team total over half a goal. They've scored a first half goal in 3 straight. Then the Catalan derby, Espanyol, Barcelona. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. Espanyol, they average 1.4 team goals at home, and Barcelona 2.6 on the road. Lastly, Italy, Serie Atalanta, Roma. These two have scored in 4 of their last 5 meetings. I think they do it again with both teams to score.
And finally, I love all 5 of those plays, by the way. That's the only way you can bet Barcelona. They are such a great scoring team, but their defense is a sieve, an absolute sieve. So there are 4 games today in college football, 2 ranked teams. Mikey, can you name one of them?
I can name the first game. I can't name it.
That's not what I asked. Can you
Arizona. Arizona is playing SMU today.
Okay, that is one of them. Peyton, can you name the other one?
Mississippi State.
Chuck, can you name the other ranked team that is playing today?
That I cannot, Coachman.
Well, today, for all of you degenerates out there, Rice, Texas State is the first game. Oh. Navy is ranked number 22. Against Cincinnati today. Cincinnati will roll in that game. Arizona is playing SMU. That should be a high-scoring one, too. And then late night, Wake Forest and Mississippi State. Mississippi State had a good start to the season. They're 5-7. There's way too many 5-7 teams playing in bowl games. But at least they're playing Notre Dame, Kansas State. Need I go on? Gentlemen, well done today. Great week. Thank you for working through the holidays. Take the weekend off. We will be back live on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, breaking down what happened on Saturday and then looking forward to Sunday. Remember, no Monday night grind. Monday Night Football is over, but we will be back in the friendly confines, regular schedule on Monday morning, everything across the board. So thank you for hanging with us and putting up with these shows from on the road. In the meantime, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Friday tickets and Saturday and Sunday straight to the pay window. For my entire team, love them all. Big Chuck, Peyton, Mikey P, and producer man always behind the scenes making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about. This is Coaching Company Live, as always, right here on Stadium. Have a great weekend.